Hey, what's up, everybody? You are watching On the Town with Tanya. Thank you so much for coming back again this week. We appreciate you. This week, I was reading Scientific American. It's an online magazine. And according to them and another researcher, there's 70 million Americans that read their horoscopes daily. And that's according to the American Federation of Astrologers. And that last was reported in 2020. So it's not today. I couldn't find it today. The study was done by a group called the Pew Forum in Religion and Public Life. So they said only about 25% believe the stars and the planets position affect our daily lives. I think more than that, but it's okay. So today's guest is a former boxer out of London. He's a dedicated teacher and a consultant specializing in astrology, tarot. I can never say it right. Tarot. Tarot's like carrot. Tarot. And numerology. Please welcome Israel. And tell me if I get it right. Ajose?
Yeah.
Hey, go Tanya. Welcome.
Great stuff. Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you for taking the time to come all the way from the UK. That's what I love about this online thing is that you can have anybody from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's really great.
It's made the world much smaller and us being able to connect with each other a lot more easier. So yeah.
Exactly. So astrology. What is astrology and how does it connect to our personal experiences? I'll start with that first.
Okay. Well, what is astrology first?
Yeah. For someone that has no idea.
Yes. So astrology it's the oldest, it's the mother and father of all sciences.
Okay.
Astrology is the study of time.
Okay.
Our ancient ancestors, or if you want to say early man, the first thing that they would have observed and they would have seen would have been the movements of the sun and moon. Every month they would have noticed new moons and full moons, and at certain times of the year they would have noticed eclipses. And so acknowledging the rising and the setting of the sun, they obviously monitored and used it as a clock. This is where our today, if I said meet me here at such and such time, we've all got watches now, even though we all got phones now and the time is on there. But where does the concept of the clock of time come from? It comes from the idea of the rising and setting of the sun. So through that, we have managed to come across with devices such as the clock, such as calendars. All our calendars are based on, again, solar and lunar movements. So astrology is the study of time, and what it does is it allows us to understand, because time as we know it is actually cyclical, it's not linear. So over years, over long periods of time, they notice that there are particular patterns and themes that repeat. Just as we have seasons throughout the year, we have, spring, winter, summer, autumn. So we can see that, well, this is cyclical. This is something that happens every year. It comes back around. So relating it to us as human beings, what our ancestors noticed is that there is a direct correlation with the movements and the positions of the planets at any given time of the year with the affairs of humans and what is happening with us. So they notice that when children or people are born at particular times, they have a particular character trait, a characteristics, a kind of nature, which reflects the positions of the planets in the heavens at that moment of the birth.
Wow.
And this is what brings us here today. So astrology becomes what we have when a child is born, or when a particular person is born. We have what's known as a personal horoscope or personal chart based on the date, time, place of when we were born, and it maps out the heavens for that moment when we were born, and it reflects the nature of our lives, and can kind of act as a kind of navigator to give us give us guidance and guide us through life. So,
well, didn't they use that in ancient Egypt and Greece and Mesopotamia?
Oh, most definitely, big time, mega time. Pretty much all the civilizations, they all used it, and the Egyptians were known for using astrology, or all of their monuments, the pyramids, the temples were all built in alignment with the stars. Cultures also such as India, Persia, the Babylonian, Mesopotamian, Greek, Roman cultures, all of them have roots in Africa, in astrology. Cultures in Africa, such as the Dogon. There's a bone, there's an artifact, which is, I believe it's in the Museum of Belgium, if my mind serves me correctly, known as the Ishango bone. And it was Ishango, and it was found in the region of where Congo is.
Yes,
and it dates back somewhat. They reckon it's a minimum of 20,000 years old, but there's still debate that it's actually older. It could go back as far as 40,000 years. Wow. And on this Ishango bone, it's documented that this is the oldest calculator and lunar calendar. So it's got little markings on this bone. And that's when they said they didn't quite know what it was, but eventually they found it's like, actually, these people are plotting the moon. So you can actually plot when the new moons and full moons are on this Ishango bone. So really quite powerful stuff. Yeah. So memorial, we ancient man has been looking at the stars and the moons for guidance. It's yeah.
Well, people think I'm crazy when I say that, but I was like, I can tell when it's a full moon, even if I haven't been outside.
Yeah.
It's it totally changes. And I didn't believe at first, because my forever mom was a minister. They didn't believe in astrology, gambling.
Right. Yeah.
Like, no. And I was like, listen, okay, we are made up of water. We are made up of energy. Just on that concept alone, I don't need science to tell me anything, that there's something else going on here.
Exactly.
But other people are like, no, if you believe in God. And I was like, well, then okay. Because I always have these debates with my religious friends, and I'm spiritual, I'll say.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And I believe in God, whatever you got, I'm whatever it takes to live this human life, I'm with it. I put it that way.
Exactly.
It's good. As long as it's pointing to good. But I think people contradict themselves when they say, oh, that's sacrilege, because I can think of many times where human beings have said, well, I believe in God and I believe in the Bible. And right now we have people who are like, I believe in this and I believe in that. And I'm like, really? So how did you let children go to an oven? You sat right there and did nothing, but you were so religious.
Yeah.
Oh, really? How did you let people be enslaved and not give them no money? How did that work?
Yeah.
The science says something about that. So you believe that? Like, so I'm not saying, do you believe in God? I'm saying, don't tell me you believe in God. Show me.
Yeah.
And if you are in line with the planet, I believe, if your soul is right and your spirit is right, you do the right thing. And then I believe you, and I trust that you really are spiritual.
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, even with astrology, again, I know sometimes there can be like people in certain religious, understandings that they say, oh, astrology is, evil, or it's against God. No, it's astrology actually is there to make you a better person. Yeah. And I truly believe that religion is trying to also serve that purpose as well. You want us to be good people. You want us to be ethical. You want us to be, and to be happy and to find meaning in life. So astrology is essentially doing that same thing. So if you are a Christian or Muslim or whatever faith you are following, by doing astrology is going to enhance your belief system. It's not against God. We're not saying that there is no God because we're doing astrology. All of those planets and moons and suns that are out there were created by that same God. He made them.
There you go.
And even in the Bible, it says, and there shall be signs, and you should know the sign. So, and even in the Bible as well, there are so many references, to astrology. The three wise men, they followed the star in order to find where Jesus was. They were astrologers. So God told Abraham to count the Mazzaroth, which was the zodiac signs. He told him to count the signs. That's how many children that you're going to have, and that's why there's 12 tribes of Israel. So there are so many references in the Bible. So astrology shouldn't go against whether it be Christianity or Islam or any other religion for that matter. It can go alongside it because it's there to let you become more aware of who you are as an individual and how you can live a much more holistic and fulfilled life.
Right, exactly. Well, when do you think it started, astrology historically? I know it's been linked, but when did it start dividing? When did it separate from astrology and go left? Kings and queens used it, and they used it heavy. And I don't understand, when did it stop? Like, when did that become like, this is evil, stop? Answer a question in my own head. Like everything else stopped and it got changed.
Exactly.
Like I want to say, even not the Pope, whoever the head of the Vatican, whoever the head of the
the Pope.
They told when David or whoever painted Jesus, the color he is.
Michelangelo and all these
people. Thank you. I had the wrong painter. But whoever painted him, he said, you paint him to look like us. And he said, well, I can't. That's not what he looks like. And he said, no, I know you'll do it. I know you'll make it happen. Wait, what? What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, what else have we changed? Because
you are exactly.
So I believe this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I believe that when it comes to astrology, at some point, just like they saw, not they, but just whoever was in charge at the time, saw that, wait a minute, we can do something with this. Let's just erase this.
Exactly.
And even with religion, I believe sometimes, I love religion because it keeps people from dying. So I love it for that reason. But there are religious people who are not using it correctly. In fact, they don't know they're going straight to hell. Excuse me.
Right.
They're not going to heaven. They think they are, but they're not. I mean, they're out here justifying all kinds of stuff, from B Diddy to you name it. They justifying all kinds of stuff. I'm like, wait, what? How is you? You said what? You can't use the word God. You're banned from using the word God.
Word God.
You're just banned. Like, I don't want to ever hear that word out of your mouth. Like, So I believe it was swept a little under the rug.
Definitely.
And said, we'll change that with this, because I know when you go back in all Greek and ancient stories, you always hear them referring to. So tell me, Theolinus, Lonus, whatever. What is it? What does the stars say today? Or what is
most definitely. It was embedded in all the ancient cultures for sure. And it was all used with all the people in government, the kings, the queens.
Even today, on the low, because I've heard people like Tony Robinson say that he's consulted with presidents and blah blah blah. Why is they consulting with Tony Robinson?
Right, exactly.
Where do you think he getting it from? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
Not at all. No, great insight. But it was actually during the rise of the quote unquote Roman Catholic Church. This is where it started to become a bit outlawed. Because there was another thing that also started to happen was, which in some ways we could blame maybe some astrologers. What was happening is certain kings or certain rulers were using or trying to use astrology to kind of maybe overthrow other people as well. So, for example, if I wanted to overthrow maybe the current Caesar or something, so I might go to an astrologer and say, hey, is it favorable for me or whatever? Am I gonna, be successful if I overthrow and stuff like that? So then what started to happen is they started to sort of like ban like astrologers because they were being used or manipulated in certain ways so that people in governments would be using advantage. But then also religions as well, they started to do that because also it became kind of like a competitive kind of thing. So certain aspects of like Christianity and stuff, they started to demonize astrology and things like that, because they kind of knew they wanted people to obviously attend the church, so they wanted people on their side. So it was kind of like a us versus them kind of thing. So, and if you're going to be going to the astrologer, well, we don't want that. We want you to come to church on the Sunday so you can see the vicar and pay your 10%. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Put that money in there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you can go home if you want.
Yeah. So that's where, and it just kind of grew from there. So astrology, and then during the time of the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages, especially in Europe, during the time of the Spanish Inquisition, then it really started to get really outlawed, and it was like, it was seen as witchcraft, or conversating with the devil and all this kind of stuff.
Everything's witchcraft to them once if it doesn't align with their thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're trying to say even some was it Yoruba religions to do with like the Orishas and stuff. All of these things started to get demonized, and so anybody who wasn't following in line with what their structure was about was basically, you're a pagan, you're an evil devil worshiper, you're conversating with the devil. So they started to put all of that in one kind of grouping. But again, I mean, I've got a book here which I'll hold up, which people can see here, and you can see it's the Treasures of the Vatican. So it's produced for the Treasure, but this is the title of the book, and There Shall Be Signs. Now this is a book about astrology. It's a book that is showing you the various quotes that are in the Bible that is pointing towards astrology. You see, so there shall be signs, and it's written by the Vatican. It's got the Vatican stamp on. It's still got the Vatican stamp on there. At the back of the book. That's it right there. The Vatican stamp on there. So it's authentic. There comes as by the Vatican, commissioned by the Vatican, and inside it's got all quotes about various passages in the Bible that is speaking about various zodiac signs, talking about planets, talking about the 7 stars, the 12 constellations, all various quotes about the Bible all the way through. And it's referencing and quoting places in the Bible that is referring to astrology. So, do you have any pictures of Jesus as brown?
Yeah, no, there's none of them in there.
Sorry, I'm a comedian. I had to ask. Sorry.
Yeah.
My grandson said.
So there is so many here. There's all taken from the Bible. Right. Which is really quite fascinating. I was fascinated when I saw this book, and I was like, "What? It's written by the Vatican? Like, you crazy me?" And and it's all the books in there, from Revelations to Genesis. They're all making quotes all about the Bible, talking about the 7 stars, the 12 stars, constellations.
If you read some parts of the Bible, I mean, like, I'm just like, that's very familiar. It's not far fetched, like some thrown up, made up, some way out space thing. This has been whoever interpreting the Bible probably believes in astrology. They just didn't call it that.
Exactly.
Just saying, because all that was, a lot of it was predictions, technically.
Exactly.
Right. And if you're making prediction, what is that based on?
Exactly.
Based on
not
Euclid rhythms. I forgot what you call it. Our soul rhythms, whatever, earth rhythms.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to me. It makes a lot of sense. Well, so and
even with religions, when you go into what ties it in more again, where a lot of people, or especially of the Christian religions, where they don't fully or they're not fully aware, is that every year, for example, in the Christian religion, they practice a celebration called Easter.
Yes. Easter.
Right. Now Easter, every year, Easter is on a different date. Right? Easter is on a different date every year. Right. Like this year, when we had Easter this year, it was in March.
Right.
Next year, 2025, Easter is going to be in April. Oh. So it changes date, it changes month. Now, nobody seems to ask, well, how come if this, if it was a date, like, say, like Christmas, every year is December the 25th, right? So why is it that Easter is always changing? Some years it's in March, some years it's in April. Well, as quiet as kept, what they don't tell them is that Easter is measured. So what happens is, so the Good Friday weekend is measured. How they pick it is they pick it based on the first full moon after the spring equinox. So the first full moon after the spring equinox, the Friday that follows that full moon will be the Good Friday. And that's why it changes every year. Now, if you're basic, so that means that celebration of Easter is based on a astrological principle.
Right.
Because you need an astrologer that's going to say, well, it's the new moon or it's the full moon. Right. So all of the Christian, the celebrations, the festivals are all based, even in Islam. Their holiest month is Ramadan, when they fast for 30 days. Right. And it's based on, well, how do you know when the beginning of Ramadan is? Well, it's based on the new moon. So they're also using the lunar calendar, lunar moon. So, but you need an astrologer who's going to be keeping an eye on it to letting you know that, well, this is the beginning of this festival, or that's the beginning of this festival. Right. And that's how essentially it is. So astrology is actually far more embedded and interwoven into the religion far more than they can ever. So there's no you can't be saying, oh well, you're against it, but yet you're using it, and it's embedded also in your Christmas, for example. Although now Christmas is generally, it tends to be on the 25th of December. What actually was is Christmas originally was actually on the 21st of December. Why? Because on the 21st of December is the winter solstice. Right. I heard about but the Christians moved it to the 25th because they didn't want to be associated with the pagans. Because the pagans, or the traditional who are following the stars and following the seasons and connecting with Mother Nature and the seasons, that they were the ones that were celebrating Saturnalia or Yule in Europe, places of Europe. Saturnalia, Yule, right? Because the sun moves into the zodiac sign of Capricorn, and the planet that rules Capricorn is Saturn. So they have the Saturn. They have the celebration known as Saturnalia. So what happened was the Christians, they wanted to sort of like disassociate themselves away. So they didn't want to celebrate so they moved it to the 25th. So they said, we'll do it 4 days later, and then so that when we separate ourselves from those pagans or from those, and then they moved it to the 25th, and that's how it became December the 25th.
And that's so funny, because I found out they can separate themselves if they want to. So they didn't do it for slavery, they didn't do it for the Holocaust. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, my bad. They didn't do it for Israel right now. I'm just saying.
Right, I understand. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, people can do the miraculous things when they want to.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Like, exactly.
Stop playing me. But I just think it's interesting. I happen to like this, and you know what? Today, so I'll ask you more about it later. But the moon is in retrograde. We got to talk about this.
Yeah. Mercury. Well, Mercury's going direct. Mercury retrograde is actually stationed right now because he's about to go direct tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Yeah. Mercury will go direct. Okay. But he's actually stationed right now.
It's not today. It's not today.
No. We had the full moon today. We had a full moon in Gemini today, but Mercury, the planet Mercury, was retrograde. He kind of still is, but he's kind of stationary. Okay. So what happens is a planet will go stationary for just a couple of days, and then before it goes direct. But he's going to go direct tomorrow, the 16th, 17th. He's going to go direct.
Right. So don't make any decisions.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Look, it took me years to figure it out. How come every time when I see this happening?
Yeah, exactly.
Everything that can go wrong things that you never even thought could go wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I said, now wait a minute. I'm not really that into it. Something's going on. And I started really paying attention. And so I said, stop making decisions during this time. Don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stay in your house, like hibernate, like don't even talk to people. Like
exactly. Yeah. It's not
really
the greatest of times. It's not the greatest of times to when Mercury's retrograde. It's like it's time to sort of like reflect. Redo. Yeah, exactly.
Do some grounding with the grass.
Exactly.
It's too cold right now.
Yeah.
Get some indoor grass. Something.
So spiritually. Sorry.
clean yourself up spiritually.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
Mhm.
time to, it's a great
Make
time to
plans.
actually reflect and go
Yes.
over things that maybe you haven't completed.
Yeah.
It's great for doing research, it's great for planning, it's
Yes.
great for strategizing,
Mhm.
it's great for relaxing, it's great
Mhm.
for redoing things
Mhm.
again, repeating things. So that is what the retrograde does have its positives, but it's not really good when you want to sort of like initiate maybe something new, or you
Yeah.
want to make that decision, or let me just do this. It's
Mhm.
better to just kind of ponder on it and just have a good think about it. And that's why they often say if Mercury's retrograde, it's not so great to maybe sign a contract, or
Mhm.
buy a car or buy a
Mhm.
property,
Yeah.
or that kind of thing, because it tends to go a little bit like that things
Mhm.
don't happen, like they will not manifest as you want it to, or it doesn't work out as you want it to, or you
Right.
end up going back and having to redo it
Yes.
again. Yeah.
And to explain that to people, that because I didn't understand for years, I was clueless. I had no
Right.
clue. I kept saying something keep happening every time this happened, but I don't know
Apple,
what.
yeah. Yeah.
And I figured it out, and then I read about it and was like, oh, so basically, in
Yeah.
layman terms, that just means that the universe right now is in a shifting position,
Right.
and so with that shifting, things are shifting and changing. So that's why
Exactly.
it's not good to make a decision, because it's not quite settled where it needs to be yet. So
Exactly.
is that a good way to
Exactly. Yeah.
layman terms, like for a
Yeah.
5-year-old? That's my
Yeah.
explanation.
And one of a great example of that, which was pretty much worldwide, was
Mhm.
when Barack Obama,
Mhm.
I believe it was for his second term,
Mhm.
um, when he won the second term, he actually, when he was being sworn in on January the 20th, he was being sworn in during a Mercury retrograde, and what had actually happened is if you remember, when he was being sworn in, he made that mistake
Right.
when he made a blunder when the guy was saying, "You say I," you saying
Yes, I
Barack
saw that.
Obama, and he made a stumble. And what happened is he had to go back, so they called him back the next following week, and they had to swear him in again behind closed doors in private, where he had to do it again. So
Yep.
those are the kind of mistakes and blunders that do happen during a Mercury retrograde. So yeah,
Yes. Oh, I believe that. Now, how
yeah,
can astrological
yeah.
signs influence your personality or your life decisions?
Yeah, well, each zodiac sign essentially is governed by a particular planet,
Okay.
and each
I'll say
zodiac,
I'm Aquarius. So what you
right? Okay, yeah. Well, you're in the right business. You're in.
say? And I was born with a veil over my face, I believe. Not a veil over
Oh,
my face.
right. Okay. Yeah.
Third
Yeah.
eye. Yeah, I have a third
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Say that.
Although, well, they say those people who are born with a veil, they're very extremely intuitive and psychic, and can,
Well, I don't know about the veil, because my birth mom was an addict, so I
oh.
won't say the veil. It might have been another veil, but but as my forever mom used to say, she knew
Yeah.
I had a gift, which is why all the kids run around the orphanage. She said that was one of the reasons why she pulled
Oh,
me out.
wow.
It was like at least 500. I don't even know, probably like 500 kids running around that gym that day, and I was like,
Wow.
why'd you come all the way across the
Oh,
gym?
so come pick me. Yeah. Right.
But she had
Yeah.
a third eye, and she was born with a veil over her face, literally.
Right.
That's
Right.
what she
Right.
told, that's what she says. And then the psychic Sylvia Brown, way before she died, when I used to work at the Montel Williams show, she was like, I was in the green room, and she didn't, before she knew who I was interning, I think then. And she says, do you mind if I hold your hand? And I said, okay.
Right.
Awkward, but
Yeah.
okay. I didn't think it was
Yeah.
that weird. And she did. She says, you have the gift, don't you? And I was like, okay. This gift keeps coming up. I had
Coming up,
3
right.
psychics randomly. One time I was working in a jail, and the lady came into the trailer,
Right.
like a robot, came into the trailer, stopped, turned, and looked at me, and she said, you have the gift. And I was like, what is these people?
Well,
That's
what
the
is
third
this gift? Yeah. Tell me
I know
what
what
it
it is now, but at the time I was like, and my mom
Yeah.
used to try to tell me, I was like, I don't want to hear it, because I see things like death, sickness, good things.
Wow.
I saw a kid that said he's going to be a celebrity, and he became a celebrity. I mean, I followed,
Wow.
he actually became I mean, I see things prevalent, but I do not use it to get paid. And because my mother told me, never take money or you will lose the gift. God will take it away from you.
Right. Yeah.
Like Miss
Oh,
Cleo.
yeah.
Miss Cleo, calm me down.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear
She
you.
was so good. She used to help the Atlantic City Police Department, not Atlantic City, Atlanta Police Department find
Oh,
missing
really?
kids. Yeah, she was that good. I mean, she helped find a friend of mine who's been missing for 2 years, and I just gave her a picture Another friend, the doctor told her to get rid of the baby because it's something of the heart's outside his head and all this
Oh,
crazy stuff.
right. Yeah,
And my
yeah.
mom was like, give me a picture. And then she said, let me meet her. She met her. She felt her stomach. She said, do not do it. Her kid's now 28 years old, perfect mind. He never had a problem with his heart or kidneys. None of what they but he was a little brown boy. And she was her
Wow.
5th kid. And they probably just felt like she shouldn't be having all these kids. That's probably what that was. There
Wow.
was nothing wrong with him. Nothing. 7 months pregnant. They tried to tell her to get rid of the baby. Yeah.
Oh, 7 months?
7 months pregnant. They said, get rid of it. The heart's outside and this and that. And like, if you're reading a scan, if the doctor says the heart's outside, you just think it is because you don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh my God, the heart's out. It could be his foot. Like, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Luckily, thank God, she listened to my mother and she said, I can't believe that they like told me that. I
said, they told you right to the.
You better not be listening to some of these doctors. Y'all better think twice. Nope. So the point is, my mom, she was thorough. I mean, thorough. She never go around bragging about it, talking about it. I don't either. I don't even go around. Walk past people and seen either death, sickness, or major good things about to happen. And one lady thought I was crazy. I was like, "Ooh, something good about the girl."
Yeah.
I better stand by. You might be winning the lotto tomorrow. I don't know what happened to her, but I get these urges. It's just only if I look in their eyes. I get these serious. That's
you
why.
Get yeah. No. It's
look
good.
people in the eyes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to know.
It's a wonderful gift. It's a wonderful gift. It's a real wonderful gift.
I use it. I use it to if I can save a life or if I can change a life. And it helped me 100% in counseling. Like I can't even tell you when I was helping people in addiction.
Yeah, because it will help you be able to locate where the whatever maybe difficulties or blockages or exactly.
Yes, and I go right to, like, I can see right to them, even if they don't. Mr. Verse, some people they don't believe you at first, they think you're just crazy. I'm like,
exactly.
But if you listen to me, you won't be come back here, will you?
Yeah, exactly.
Just try it. All I can do is be wrong, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Trust me when I tell you something, I've seen it pure as day.
Wow.
But I try. Which is the only reason why I got into counseling, because I was like, this is a gift. Like I can help people see things that they don't even see.
Exactly.
I mean, they don't even see.
No, it's a wonderful gift. It's a wonderful gift.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful gift to have, and that's wonderful. No, keep it up and keep using it and keep healing and helping people out wherever you can. It's it's really good stuff.
I'm gonna try. So let's see. A popular question that I got today from a viewer was they always ask you, what's your birth sign? So how does astrology play into somebody's traits and behaviors based on their birthdays and charts?
Yeah, so like I said earlier on, so birth on the birthday or the date, time, place of their birth, each zodiac sign is ruled by a planet. So each planet has a particular kind of characteristic or a trait.
Okay.
So what happens is when you're born of that zodiac sign and born out of a particular place, what it is the planet that rules that zodiac sign is going to be quite, if you want to say, dominant in your characteristics. So, for example, the planet Mercury. So people who are very mercurial. So Mercury rules 2 zodiac signs. He rules Gemini. He rules Virgo. So people who have predominant planets in these signs are often quite talkative, quite sociable, busybodies, very restless.
Because Gemini, you said Gemini?
Oh yeah, Gemini.
My brother is a Gemini.
Okay, yeah.
I'm Aquarius, but yeah.
Yeah, you're Aquarius. Yeah, so you're both air signs.
Yeah, February.
Which is all very like air signs like to communicate. They have the gift of communication. They're very knowledgeable people. Like to chit chat, like to socialize. Aquarians are
investigate.
Well. Yeah.
Like to investigate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very curious. They want to know like what's going on, and it's that knowledge. That's what they're looking for. Mental stimulus. The air signs are very, very communication orientated, communication knowledge orientated, and people orientated also as well. Because they need people. They need to keep relationships and developing that that connection with people. So those are like what the air signs do. They like connecting and. We're very curious and what's the knowledge about? How can I get some insight? So, yeah.
It won't stop till they get it.
Oh no. Yeah, that's because they need that. It's food for them. That's
Yes.
their, it's especially if it's your sun sign, it's like a core center of who you are. So you're gonna be expressing a lot of those energies for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can astrology really predict the future, or is it more about understanding and flowing with the universe?
Well, it's both.
Okay.
So what astrology is doing essentially, it's like astrology is predicting the circumstances of the future.
Okay.
That's what we can predict. So a little bit like the weatherman. So for example, if you were to watch the weather today, the weatherman may say, or if you watch the news, like, and they're telling the weather, they may say, well, tomorrow it's going to rain.
Okay.
Right. But just because it's going to rain tomorrow, that doesn't mean that you're going to get wet.
Mm.
You understand? So
Right.
what astrology is doing, astrology is like that. Astrology is telling you the circumstances. Astrology is letting you know, okay, well, next week it's going to be a little bit challenging for you because of, Saturn's moving into your whatever house, and it's,
Right.
it's rather planning. So it's going to be a little bit challenging for you. You're going to be a bit frustrated. Things are going to slow down. Probably going to experience some delays in, transportation or in travel or stuff like that. But if you then say, okay, so next week's going to be a bit difficult. Okay, so there's going to be delays. Well, how about I, not travel so much and try to make other arrangements and travel maybe at a later date or another time, and maybe try to be a bit more quiet, maybe a bit more reserved during that time, because that's what. So again, then you're moving with the universe. You're moving with the universal flow. But what tends to happen is like people just want to. They want that yes. They want that yes all the time. And sometimes the universe is saying, well, not now. You've got to, rest a bit, pipe it down a bit, take your foot off the gas, and just relax and just chill and wait. And sometimes there is that time for that patience. And just again, it's interesting. There's a quote in the Bible where it speaks about that, where there's a time for everything. A time to laugh, a time to cry, a time to be born, a time to die, a time for joy, a time for sorrow, a time for planting, a time for reaping. So there's a time for, so an astrologist shows us and makes us understand when and what that time essentially is about, and when we can then exercise that. So all we're doing is we're predicting the future circumstances, and then it's up to the individual to utilize whatever is being presented to them and take it to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay. So if I'm Aquarius, born February 9th.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to tell my age.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to.
Put that in the chat box. It was the 60s is all I'm going to tell you.
That's all we need to know. Yeah, the 60s.
Yeah, 60s, mid.
Yeah.
So what is my sun, my moon? What is it? How does it say moon and
rising? So moon. So we would have to. So we would need definitely the full date to be able to.
Date. Okay.
To be able to get the moon. You can put that in the chat and I can.
I'll kill you and tell anybody. No. Actually, my birthday. I should not be. I should be proud of it. I'm gonna be 60 in February. I said it on air.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh wow! Okay, you let the cat out the bag now.
I know. Well, here's the kicker: I was not officially adopted, I call it, but I was a foster kid, and they did. I did get my records, and on there is written a few birth dates, and then I had to go to court at 7 years old. And the judge, they had the hospital. Somebody from the hospital came, but the doctor had died or something, of course. And then who else? My foster mom and some social workers came. And nobody knew my age or my name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a long story. And they knew my name, but my name wasn't on the papers that they have. The kid that they legally kidnapped was not on there. So it's a long story short. The judge was pissed off and was like, "How old do you want to be? We think you're 7." So I was like, "I want to be 9." So they changed my age. Now I'm born in 1965. That's my truth. Yeah.
Right.
And I still have some of the paperwork, actually. I had to go to court twice, actually. And they were supposed to change it. They still, to this day, haven't. So
haven't changed it. Wow.
I got my passport. That's all I care about.
Yeah, exactly.
What you do, as long as I got that passport, we get in and out, be good.
Yeah.
So I'll deal with it one day. But I was like, you know what? it is what it is. But
It
the
is what
point
it is.
is,
Okay.
my aunts too also told me that I have to be younger than I am. So, but I was like, I could get a bone test, but who cares? I don't care.
Yeah.
I can collect Social Security early. Why not?
Exactly.
I'm not complaining. And look, and I'll be the best looking 70-year-old you ever.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. You're
Like
good.
70,
You're
yeah,
good.
70. Okay, boop.
You got that moon in Taurus, so that's good. That's
Yes, yes.
you got, so your moon is in Taurus. So, but do you know your time? You don't know your time of birth,
I don't.
right?
I have a time on there. It was I can't remember. See, I got 2 daughters and then myself, so I can't remember who's 8/17, who's 12, and I can't tell if that's 12
Right.
a.m. or 12 p.m. I can't tell because my birth certificate is so shoddy that it was hard to make out. We were like, okay, we know you're born February 9th. We got that. But the 65, 66, 7, we couldn't tell. It's like that old black ink that smudged.
It was smudged, right.
So even the 12/17 or 12/18 or something, you can't tell if it's PM or AM. You can't tell.
Okay, you don't. Right.
Smudged. It's really smudged. So I can't tell. I mean, that I can probably find out easy because I did get a copy, but it still doesn't have my name on it. And they did put my new age on, my new birthday.
Oh, okay. They put the right.
Yeah, the year. Sorry, not the date. So the date's correct.
Oh, so yeah.
And no one can verify. Yeah, so go figure. I don't care. But I'm not sure. That's the problem. That's why I can never get a real reading. Because I'm like,
but we can still do a reading. We can still do a reading for you. It's just that we won't have the point of what the reason why we need the time is to be able to locate the ascendant, what's known as the ascendant sign. So that's why we need the time, because what happens is on the eastern horizon they change approximately every 2 hours. So so we need the time so that we can know what zodiac sign was rising over the eastern horizon, which is your ascendant. And so that's what gives it. But we can still do a reading. We still know where the planets are, what signs the planets are in. So yeah. So I'm just looking at your chart now. I noticed that you've got 3 planets in Aquarius. So you've got Sun in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius, you got Venus in Aquarius, and your moon sign is Taurus. So you got moon in Taurus, which is very, very good. Because the moon is exalted in Taurus. Yeah, so that's going to really give you a strong sense of luxury and comforts, and somebody who really likes indulging in the senses of the world and food and taste and touch and smell and stuff. So you're going to be really love to engage in that world. So yeah, that's it's going to be going to play it may give you a bit of a sweet tooth as well, because moon in Taurus people do like.
But I'm eliminating. There's only one cheat I'm allowed to have, and that's my hazelnut.
Okay, well, hazelnut's good.
My Ritters, that's my my one jump cheat. Other than that, I killed all sugar. I had to.
Oh yeah. Well, Taurus is definitely a sugar. It loves its sugar. Anybody with planets in Taurus, especially moon in Taurus. I would love to sit
up on them organic gummy bears all day, but I can't do it. I can't. It's too addictive, and I don't have addictive personality. But the one thing about sugar is it's addictive. You have
right,
need more and more and more, and it just never stops. So I learned this.
Right, I get you.
Get a mango, get a pineapple, like that. Keep you around a lot longer, I think.
Yeah. So, no, wonderful. And I noticed as well you've got a sun, Jupiter square. So this can make you extremely very, open-minded, quite spiritual. Also, you've also got it square Neptune also as well. With Sun Jupiter, it can really give you like a great sense, like somebody who's going to travel quite a lot, somebody who's open-minded, somebody who's constantly sort of like exploring and wanting to know more, and somebody who's very open and like, just give me more. So Sun Jupiter people are very expansive in that sense. But you also have a Sun Neptune as well, which can make you rather say, so you need to be kind of like be a bit more kind of maybe mindful around maybe alcohol or things of that nature. Okay, so that's good. That's good.
Listen, I learned from my mama.
Right.
Too. I'm good. I tell me once and I'm good. I learned that. Ask anybody who knows me. 1 drink minimum.
Sun Neptune can be a bit like, it can have a bit of like a bit of an addictive nature a little bit. So
I don't have an addictive bone in my body, but the one thing I will say is you don't want me drunk. You know what I mean? You don't want that. Trust me, because you think I talk a mile a minute now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're really gonna be,
If
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't like you, you're gonna
exactly.
know it. There will be no edit.
Yeah, yeah. No,
There will be
definitely.
no
It's
edit.
definitely strong in the chart. It's
There will be
definitely
no
very
edit.
strong in the
I have no
chart.
mercy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get
And you've also I mean, you've got Mercury also in Aquarius as well, and Mercury's to do with like your communication styles and how you communicate. So people with Mercury in Aquarius, they can be quite eccentric, actually, very different in terms of their way of thinking. But they're very humanitarian, very progressive, very good socialist people. You've also got Venus there also as well, so you've actually got what's known as a Venus Mercury conjunction, so that's good. That can actually make you a little bit artistic also as well. So that's
autistic.
quite good.
I believe
Yeah.
that. Artistic or autistic?
No. Artistic. Like somebody like maybe with like arts, like
I
maybe
do.
drawing,
I
painting,
make jewelry. I paint.
poetry.
I
Yeah,
do
yeah, things like
writing.
that. Yeah,
I write
yeah.
books. I do all that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's your Venus Mercury conjunction that you've
Oh, is
got
that
there.
what
That's
it is?
very good. It's a very, very good placement actually. And it's also somebody who has a love for knowledge, because Mercury is about knowledge and communication, and Venus is about what we love and what we value. So people with like a Mercury Neptune, a Mercury Venus connection, they will tend to have like a love, or they tend to value knowledge and information, and
I do. I
very,
think I
yeah.
went to school the longest than anybody else and didn't get a PhD for it. I did about 12 years
Wow.
of college. I'm not kidding.
What?
I don't
12
even.
years?
Well, if I added all my degree is from NYU Steinhardt.
Right,
Then I
okay.
went to FIT for 2 years, but I left to go model in Paris, and then I went to business school for two business schools separate for a year each, and I went to new school for a minute. I went to I went to a lot of schools, but not because I was like a college junkie. Actually, I was a knowledge junkie. I am because if it's something that interests me,
right.
I just want to know about it. And because
right.
I used to do freelance reporting, I know you have to know. I remember Barbara Walters, some reporters at a reporter conference told me I was checking for them, and I just asked them one by one, just, am I in the right major?
Right. Yeah.
And they were like, no, get out and do communications. I was like, really? And they were like, don't do journalism because that's so narrow. When you're a reporter, you have to know a lot about everything. Like you don't know, you could interview the president of Mumbai tomorrow and then a homeless person next week. But you have to do it just as efficient. And if you don't know about what homeless people go through, what service the story is not going to come out right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good point. So I make it a point to know a lot about a lot of things, but people think, oh, you're master of everything and master of none, or whatever that
Yeah.
That's your dumb ass. That ain't me. Keep that to yourself, because that ain't
that to yourself. That don't concern you. Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, but what I'm doing. That's what I tell them, because people are so mean. They're so mean to me.
Yeah.
I had one lady said to me, "You all this college and you still ain't got no good job or something." She said,
"Oh, whatever." Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How are you in my pockets? First of all, even if I'm not working, does not equate to me not being a great person, and the information is not coming into handy. When
exactly.
For instance, when I was a counselor, a lot of information I knew, I was more what's the word? Well versed than other counselors, even if they had a master's, a higher degree. Some of them didn't know things, little things, loophole things that I knew. You see,
I guess
something so simple as that. You would think,
and it's like you didn't know it, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If I can tell you 10 shelters to go to, and they don't know any.
Well, exactly. So they know. Yeah, exactly.
But I researched all the possibilities I thought would come up.
Yeah, exactly. And you researched it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And being an Aquarian, and you've got 3 planets in Aquarius, it makes you very, Aquarius is known, it's the zodiac sign of humanity. So it's very humanitarian orientated.
Oh, yes.
So it has this, tendency to want to, advance humanity, progress humanity. So they do quite well in like social sciences or sometimes
nonprofit.
Yeah. Like humanitarian, sometimes charity. Yeah, sometimes charitable.
Aged out foster youth. I gave them scholarships and gift boxes. I did it for 12 years and didn't even take a salary for it. And then realized, what about you now? And you got to, because I'm trying to work on a documentary about foster care. That's more important to me. I wanted the world to know rather than just a small micro amount of people.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I can't escape it. I try to escape it. I try to run from this humanitarian thing of mine. I just can't. My mother
you can't run from who you are.
My mom used to say, the reason why I'm glad you didn't go to law school is because you would always be a broke lawyer. I said, what do you mean? She was like, you find somebody to help for free. And you know what?
You'll be helping out all the criminals who ain't got no lawyers, ain't got no money. It's like, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of it.
Who's your attorney? Tanya Cooper, ESQ. It's like, and I'd be like, don't take my house away from me, please. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I can be broke, have no job, and you better believe I will find. If I saw a lady homeless once, I was like, I'm gonna give her my coat. My friend was like, you ain't even working. I was like, listen, I got 2 coats. I don't need 2. I can only wear 1 at one time.
Well, exactly.
Because that's just and I try to run from this. That is just a part of my sign. I don't know why, but it is. I try to run from it, but I can't.
Yeah. Well, Aquarius is quite interesting because one thing with Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by the planet Saturn, but there's something about Aquarius also as well. It's quite detached sometimes. It can be a bit sort of like, okay, need to cut off, need to kind of, kind of do my own thing kind of thing. But the thing is with Aquarius, it's like there's an old joke in astrology about Aquarians. They say they love humanity, but they hate humans.
That's me. I thought I made that quote. Are you kidding? I just told someone they was like, that's mean. I was like, that's my truth. I stand in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my dogs, the cat.
Yeah.
I don't have cats, but I love the birds. I mean, I'll sit and have matched conversations with them. But human beings, that's another level.
Yeah, it's another level.
You know why? They're so shady and they always change their mind and they just they don't know what they want to do. Like a dog knows he likes you. He's gonna sit there and be loyal.
Loyal, yeah.
His sassiness. You know, my dog be looking at me like this. So what you talking about? I don't know what you're saying, but okay, human, right? But he's with it, you know. Yeah. Humans could be like, go behind your back, stab you, and then come back around again. Hi.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? So that's where that's coming from. That saying.
Wow. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
What so go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm having
No. I was just saying. So with the Aquarian nature, it's really good. It's very. That's why they do very good with working with people in some way, shape, or form. Very humanitarian, very civil. You know, there's something about, and they're also very eccentric also as well. There's something about them that makes them kind of stand out from the group. But you see, the thing is with Aquarius, it's like they're different from the group, but then they are part of the group in a way. So, and that's where they have this kind of push-pull kind of situation, like what you were saying. So, yeah.
Thank you, Joe. That was nice of you to say that about me. So sweet. You said street smart. That's the orphan in me. She's like, she's with it. So how does like the position of the planets at the time of your birth affect your life path?
Yeah. So what they do is like different planets rule different things. So or different planets, they symbolize different things in the chart. So what happens is based on where they are placed, it can indicate like maybe, so for example, if somebody's got a strong Mercury in their chart, it can indicate perhaps maybe going into a field where you're communicating, maybe you're writing, you're teaching. You know, if somebody had a strong Venus in their chart, and Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and art, perhaps maybe pursuing a career that's more artistic, that's maybe more poetic, or something to do or connected with beauty in some kind of way, that could be best suited. Perhaps maybe if somebody has a strong Saturn, perhaps maybe it can indicate perhaps maybe being in the field of like a government, like government position, working for the government, or being in some kind of government position in some kind of way, being in a position of authority where there's lots of responsibilities, where there's a strong sense of duty, structure, and things of that nature. That would be Saturn. So each particular planet governs a particular thing and presides over a particular thing in our life. So what happens is once we have the birth chart, it can allow us to perhaps understand that individual better, but not only to understand, it can also allow us to give give like appropriate sort of like knowledge or information that is best suited for them, that they can use, and that can enhance their life path. It can help them become more fruitful and more fulfilling, and seeking the meaning of life, which will enhance their life path essentially.
Okay.
So it's going to show highlight and show things to do with their life path, which needs to be wherever it needs to be drawn attention to. Yeah.
Okay. What about can astrology offer insights into love life and friendships?
Oh, most definitely.
We're
So
reading
that
on
would,
my love life.
yeah. So that would be Venus.
Venus?
Yeah, Venus is the planet that shows, or that is connected with, like, love life, our social life, the kind of friends that we have, romantic endeavors also as well. So depending what zodiac sign Venus is in, or where she's located in the stars at that time of birth, will indicate perhaps, like, okay, there's some people they're out there, they can talk to people, they've got confidence, and there's some people that are a bit more kind of reserved, and it's like, they're not so so everybody's going to be different. So depending where the Venus is in the chart, it's going to show, some people that they're not into maybe talking, to maybe people of the opposite sex, or having like a thing related. It's like they're finding it quite difficult. And again, depending where Venus is in the chart will definitely reflect that. So it can definitely help hugely, especially when it's two people and they can get to maybe do their own birth charts and see how compatible they are, and how it's working, and where the difficulties are going to be if they enter a relationship. So, astrology in regards to compatibility is huge. Like, big.
No, I believe that for sure. Because you can't mix water and fire.
Right? Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So based on the elements, that's like based on the elements principle. So air, for example, and earth, don't go together, and water and fire, and things like that. So there are certain elements that clash naturally, where it's like, I don't quite, and there's some zodiac signs that, boom, they blend together very well. They complement each other. They help
Exactly. I get that. So what role does karma play in astrological charts? Like, how does like a past life influence?
So based on where the planets are, again, every planet in the chart is karmic. Now karma is based on the idea that for every action there's a reaction, which we do. So there's this idea, or this notion that that this is not our first lifetime. We've lived many previous lives before, and we're just coming back. So in the chart, for example, sometimes when people have like planets that are retrograde, perhaps, or planets that are in difficult positions, difficult house, difficult, depending with what the planet's doing, it can indicate that planet, or the nature of that planet, maybe there's some unfinished business from a previous life, which that person is still trying to work out. So karma is definitely in all, but everybody's got karma, regardless of who, and it's going to show in the particular chart. And very often, if you want to kind of understand one's karma, it's the areas of life that you're having difficulties with. Whatever area of life that you feel like, this is like, oh my God, I could just never get it, or whatever, and it's just too hard, it's too big. Very often that is where the karma is. So you have to look at that situation and break down that situation and see and really find out what is it that is going on.
Oh, that's powerful stuff. Because I keep having the same things keep recurring, and I said,
when that happens, that's a sign. Yeah.
I was like, I am not coming back and doing this again. We're gonna get this right this life. We ain't coming back. You've
had enough. Yeah.
I'm done. Done. And the next one, I was like, Lord, okay, we're done with these cycles. Okay, we're done.
Exactly. Give it up. Let's wrap it up. It's been a series right now, right? It's like, let's finish it. Let's finish the series.
We're done. We're done. I got the lesson. They didn't get it. I'm not doing it again. It's like a stubborn kid here.
You've done all the volumes, all the seasons.
Yeah, I hate when I do all the work and somebody else doesn't do the work, and I'm like, we keep clashing. It's because of you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is bad. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But so we got to wrap it. I cannot believe time went so fast. But how can we use astrology to make better decisions and improve our lives? That's how.
Yes.
That's the last question. I have 3 more, but I'll have to catch you again. And
no problem. Yeah, definitely. I'll be more than So how can we make better decisions? It's about once we acknowledge where the planets are. So there are particular zodiac signs where planets do very well, where they're far more harmonious, and they give us more advantages. So we can use astrology to make better choices, because when a planet is in a particular zodiac sign, for example, it's a more favorable time. So for example, from next year June to for 1 whole year, the planet Jupiter is going to be in the sign of Cancer, where Jupiter is going to be exalted. This is going to be very favorable for property buying, property selling, and things of that nature. So it's going to be more auspicious, more favorable time for that kind of thing. So we can use that, and we can plot that and know that, Jupiter is going to enter like Cancer next year, June, and he's going to be there for a whole year. So that can be a more favorable time maybe to focus on home endeavors, home buying, property selling, real estate, and things like that. So
Wow. Well, so we will have to look into all that. I appreciate you so much. I cannot.
No, thank you for having me. Really great
so
pleasure.
Fast. Really
Don't worry, we're gonna do this again.
Yes, you are always welcome back.
Thank you.
Israel. And how'd you get your name? I love this name. Israel. Let me see if I say it right. Israel.
Yes.
Ajose.
Ajose, yeah. So it's Nigerian. My parents are Nigerian, so So it's from. So Ajose is Nigerian. Ajose, Israel's the more biblical. So that's.
Were you made in Israel? Hold up.
Was that what?
I thought you were made in Israel.
No.
I'm just saying.
Not quite. London, UK.
It's a beautiful name. Anyway.
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much. So hang out with us a minute while I say goodbye to everybody. You guys.
Yeah, no problem.
And we're going to say a happy early birthday to Grandma Norma tomorrow. Yay. I don't know how old she's going to be. 70 something, I think. I want to say.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday tomorrow to my daughter's grandma. You are the best.
Okay.
We love you. And Tony, Anthony, thank you so much for tuning in. And I can't see some of you out there on some of the other sites. I can't see. I can only see the ones on Facebook, I think it is. So thank you for whoever is out there watching. We appreciate you. And make sure you, make sure you tune in next week. All right. And hang out with me one moment, Israel.
I'm here.
Yeah. All right, guys. I will see you next week.